Welcome to our comprehensive review of the highly anticipated presidential debate between current President Joe Biden and his predecessor, Donald Trump.
This was a historic early debate, setting the stage for what promises to be a contentious election season. Let's dive into the key moments and analyze how each candidate performed under the spotlight. The stakes were incredibly high for both candidates. Joe Biden needed to demonstrate that he was still fit for office amidst growing concerns about his mental and physical health. Democratic circles were rife with anxiety over whether he could deliver a strong performance. Despite the White House's repeated assurances of his capability, Biden's performance did little to quell the concerns. Less than 15 minutes into the debate, he appeared to lose his train of thought while discussing healthcare benefits, leading to a cringeworthy moment. His voice was raspy and quiet, struggling to round off sentences and tripping over his words, which only accentuated worries about his age and mental sharpness. His team later attributed his vocal issues to a cold, but the damage was done. For many viewers, this was a confirmation of their fears about Biden's ability to handle the rigors of another term. Donald Trump, in contrast, came across as energetic and commanding. Despite having his own senior moments in recent months, he was notably sharper than in previous debates. He seized opportunities to criticize Biden, notably when Biden stumbled over his words. Trump's pointed remark, "I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either," was a powerful jab that underscored Biden's struggles. Trump often used his response time to pivot to his key issues, such as illegal migration, and managed to avoid direct answers on contentious topics like his involvement in the January 6th Capitol attack and his stance on the Ukraine war. His ability to remain focused and steer the conversation towards his preferred narratives was a stark contrast to Biden's meandering responses. The debate format allowed each candidate 2 minutes to respond to questions, but Trump frequently used his time to rebut Biden's points or steer the conversation towards his preferred topics. Moderator Dana Bush had to repeatedly press Trump for direct answers, particularly on whether he would accept the election results. Trump's avoidance of direct responses and his focus on issues like veterans' discontent with Biden played to his strengths, even if some claims, like the one about abortion rights allowing babies to be killed after birth, were dubious. His ability to dominate the stage and direct the flow of the debate was reminiscent of his previous campaign strategies, showing a disciplined and calculated approach. The debate was not short on heated exchanges. Biden attacked Trump over his criminal convictions and personal scandals, including allegations of sexual misconduct. Trump retaliated by accusing Biden of being the worst president in U.S. history. The discussion took a bizarre turn when the candidates argued over their golf handicaps, with Trump claiming to still win club championships and Biden challenging him to a match. This surreal moment underscored the tension and personal animosity between the two men, providing a spectacle that was both entertaining and concerning. When it came to the economy, Trump touted his administration's achievements, claiming it oversaw the greatest economy in history, while Biden pointed out the job losses at the end of Trump's term. However, Trump's rhetoric about the economic boom resonated with many Americans who are still feeling the pinch of rising prices and economic uncertainty. Despite macro indicators suggesting improvement, the public's perception of the economy remains a crucial battleground. On abortion, Biden criticized Trump for his role in appointing the Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe v. Wade, promising to enshrine the right to abortion into law if re-elected. However, even on this issue, Biden's delivery was sometimes muddled, making it challenging for viewers to follow his points. One of the most contentious moments came when Biden went on the attack over Trump's criminal convictions, accusing him of having sex with a porn star while his wife was pregnant. Trump's retort, "I didn't have sex with a porn star," was blunt but effective. Biden also brought up the civil cases Trump has faced, including being found liable for sexually abusing writer John Carroll. The exchange over veterans was particularly heated, with Biden invoking his late son, Bo's military service to counter Trump's alleged disparagement of veterans. Biden's claim, "My son was not a loser. He was not a sucker. You're the sucker, you're the loser," was a powerful emotional appeal, though Trump denied ever making such comments. The immediate reaction to the debate was overwhelmingly critical of Biden's performance. Headlines like a debate disaster from The Atlantic and descriptions of the event as game-changing by CNN's John King reflected the deep concern within the Democratic Party. Veteran strategist David Pluffy described it as a DEFCON 1 moment for Democrats, highlighting the high stakes and the significant impact of Biden's perceived frailty. On MSNBC, Vice President Kamala Harris acknowledged President Biden's slow start, but insisted that his strong finish was what mattered. However, the idea of Biden stepping down has now been brought into the open, and his ability to turn things around in the next 4 months is under intense scrutiny. In conclusion, this debate highlighted significant challenges for both candidates. Joe Biden's struggle to appear robust and coherent may intensify calls for him to step down, while Donald Trump's ability to stay on message and appear energetic could bolster his campaign. As the election season progresses, both candidates will need to refine their strategies and address their vulnerabilities to win over the American electorate. This debate was a microcosm of the broader political landscape, reflecting the deep divisions and high stakes of this election. Stay tuned for more updates and analyses as we follow this unfolding political drama.